Welcome to Leicestershire, where the sun is beating down, just like it was at Royal Ascot recently, where 10 years ago, trip to Paris won the Ascot Gold Cup. We just had another really fabulous 4 days at the Ebor, the Coolmore Nunthorpe in one of the highlights. 2018, Alpha Delphini was successful. But the nights will soon draw in. We'll turn our attention to the jumps at Charlie Hall Chase, the first big race of the season really. Grey Abbey was successful in that. The Cheltenham Festival, never too far away from talk about it. 2005, Graeme Lee was the leading rider there with wins on Arcadis, No Refuge and Ingles Drever. He also won the small matter of the Grand National in Amberleigh House. But tragically for him, after a fall of Ben McDooey on November the 10th, 2023, Graeme is paralysed. And I've come to the Matt Hampson's Foundation today to find out more about it and how Graeme's getting on.
All I can remember is the second I hit the ground. And
do you remember the stalls? Do you remember being in the stalls?
Yeah, vaguely. And I remember doing what I've always done on him, was you slip the blind off quietly. And so you let him see. And the second I slipped the blind quietly like I always did, he was gone.
He just stumbled. He fell.
He went to go under.
Yeah.
And I've obviously tried to get his head up, and the force that I hit the ground, I can remember hitting the ground and thinking, and then I was gone. The next 12 days I was in the RVI in Newcastle, and I can remember nothing. Probably because of the drugs and medication I was on. I can remember very, very accurately the dreams, and even now they scare the life out of me, because I can remember every dream, everything about every dream. But the day of the fall, nothing.
You died for a bit?
Yeah, my heart stopped, flatlined. And, you know, people would say, oh, did you see the white light or whatever? No, I didn't. I'd just gone. But I was, again, that place I went to when I flatlined, I was so chilled, relaxed, calm, assessing everything, and very chilled. When I came back round, there was 6 doctors around me, 8 nurses around me. I think there was 14 people around the bed, and I was going, jeez, what's all this commotion? But I'd gone. But anyway, they got me back. But yes, stuff like that's mad.
I remember I was at Chelmsford and I was driving back, and Joe Fanning had rang me. He'd heard on TV Graeme Lee had a fall, was he all right? And then somebody from Newcastle rang me, do you know Graeme Lee's wife? And I was a bit stupid, maybe as normal, but do you know Graeme Lee's wife? I'm like, yeah, Becky, yeah, why? Have you a phone number for it? I do, yeah. Would you send it to me? Yeah. Everything all right? Just send me it. And hung up, and I was like, wow. And
Jesus.
Then Becky rang me 10 minutes later, she was on the way, and I remember thinking to myself, not sure Becky's ready for what she's going to see when she gets to the hospital.
Yeah.
And then I think the race was 5:30, and by 9 o'clock paralysis was mentioned, but it was quick.
Like I believe Robbie went around to see Becky, says, Mum, Dad's had a fall. And Becky said, oh, he'll be fine. He's had loads of falls, he'll be fine. He'll be up in a minute. And I never did get up.
Do you like coming down here?
Love it, absolutely love it here.
Do you like a little mini break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's where I can really switch off. Absolutely love it. The people.
And they've done some job, haven't they? The whole thing, the location, the facilities, it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is. It's an amazing place. Love it.
How hard has it been the last year and a half?
It's been really tough, but we've had the help has been amazing, incredible. We've got some of the best people, the IJF and these guys here at Matt Hampson's Black Tea.
Yeah. The IJF been brilliant.
On an emotional support. It's not just the financial that everyone assumes. It's every way possible. They've been here anytime, night or day. They've been incredible. I couldn't say one person. There's so many of them. The different teams they have. Yeah, they're amazing. Love them.
Do you know you're amazing? I know you're going to say everybody would do it the same.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Anyone would do it for their partner, for their wife, husband, whatever. Father of the children. Yeah.
When I got discharged from hospital, I didn't even go home.
Yeah.
I went straight here, and Beck said, "This place it's special." So we came straight here from hospital for 2 weeks, and the first day I arrived here, came out of the van and Matt Hampson was there, AP McCoy was here, and then that day the first person I met was Tilly, and I've been with Tilly since.
Sorry. Hi. How we doing? All right?
Okay.
Yeah, because they're in a terrible position.
Have to have Jerry singing in our minds, I think.
Could do with Jerry on actually, but they won't let us
We
have.
can't have any music on. I can sing it for you. Yeah. Here we go again.
You won't let us have Jerry Cinnamon on.
I will. Then.
How we doing? All right. I'm going to pop one of those balls underneath your upper back again.
Yeah.
And then so we can get a nice stretch over it,
Deadly.
all right? Yeah. Deadly. Oh, I've missed that. Deadly.
Right, Tilly, what are we doing today?
So today so I've not seen Graeme for a while, so we always start
Is
off
that
with...
good or bad?
Do you know, actually, there are very few people in the world I enjoy seeing more than Becky and Graeme, I would say. So although he is a massive pain at times, aren't you, being very stubborn, no, we always enjoy it. So start off with a good stretch, and then we'll have a look at kind of just try to feel a bit more comfortable, probably a bit of a look at sitting balance and trying to use his shoulders and get him reconnected to things a little bit. Whenever Graeme comes and stays here, at the beginning, I will always say, right, so what are your goals for this week?
Yeah.
And his goals are, I don't mind, do what you want, generally, which is really helpful. It really helps me guide the sessions.
Yeah.
But there are some days when he comes in and just says, oh God, my head and my neck are just so sore and so stiff. So then we'll actually do some kind of soft tissue work around there. Maybe get you on your front. So that's quite a nice way of getting you stretched out as well, isn't it? But I tell you what, the elite athletes got a different kind of mindset. That's what I've started to realise since working with people like Graeme.
He's just stubborn / pig ignorant.
Oh, stubborn! But I guess that's how you get to where you get to, isn't it?
You came to our charity night on the 9th of November, which had you any idea of Graeme's level of what he got to as a jockey?
I knew, I have told Graeme this already. Before I met Graeme, I've never been particularly into horse racing, so I didn't know who he was then. But then I was informed who he was. I personally made the decision not to kind of look him up on the internet and things to see what he'd done before, because I didn't want it to influence how I know him now. But yeah, coming to that dinner was amazing. It was amazing seeing all of that footage and everything. And actually, the big thing was feeling the love for Graeme in the room. That was the thing that got me the most. Damn you! I'm going to get emotional. God, I hate you, Graeme.
She's class, isn't she?
Yeah.
I cry really easily when it comes to Graeme. Because he's just one of the nicest people in the world, and he doesn't believe that he's one of the nicest people in the world, and he doesn't understand why so many people care about him.
Sounds like you've lived quite a sheltered life if you think he's one of the nicest people in the world, no?
Leave her alone.
I work really hard to just meet people where they are at that point, and I think to have seen a lot of what he'd done before and to have had any of those kind of preconceived notions, it would be unfair to expect him to be like that when he'd been through such a massive trauma. I think that's true of anyone who's been through something really big. You can't expect them to be even the person that they were yesterday or the day before. You have to meet them where they are that particular day. So yeah, I think that's I didn't want to get drawn into any not celebrity necessarily, but kind of feeling like, oh, there's he's achieved all of these amazing things, and oh, now look at what's happened. Actually, it's going, right, who is this man, and who is he inside? Not from what he's achieved, not from what he's done, not for what he's known for, but actually who is he? And that's the person that I've really grown. I've grown to love, like I do. He would tell me off for being mushy probably, but I do love him. He's a very, very special person, and he has no idea how special he is. Yeah.
Graeme deeply values modesty and is not only restricted to his personal life. It is striking how much it affects his view of his career in the saddle. What a CV you had.
Do you think?
I do, yeah. Do you want to compare it to mine?
No.
No. But I said earlier that I remember your first winner, Blushing Pearl, Navan,
Yeah.
92?
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was 92.
Do you know what? Yeah, you're right. Because I had my first ride in 91, I think.
You beat Banner in second place, Jeremy Maxwell's, where I used to work.
Right.
I'll never forget it. Brian Hamilton rode him.
Yeah.
He's my favourite horse.
Yeah?
Yeah, you broke my heart.
Sorry.
That was your first winner, wasn't it? Blushing
Yeah.
Pearl, the mare.
Yeah.
When did England come into it after that?
I rode another winner for Des McDonough at Fairy House. A horse called Rising Waters. And, back then you're a young fella and you think, oh, I should be on this and I should be on that. Just a clown.
Yeah.
Just I was a clown. Wanted to run before I could walk. Anyway, I had it got in my head that I wanted to come to England. And I went to Mary Reevely's in October 93 and been here ever since.
My first memory of you riding was you used to ride very long and
Right.
fall off quite a lot.
Yeah.
Does that, you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And to turn yourself into the rider that you ended up being, 1,000 winners over jumps in a vintage era.
As a rider, I would have said I was very, very moderate, very average, and that's maybe been kind as well. I was never kind of, like now everyone is a jockey coach and they have this and they have access to that, and back then when we were, you were on your own. You had to just learn yourself, I guess.
Wasn't it foot and mouth changed things? You went,
Yeah.
We all weren't there then because foot and mouth, no
Yeah.
racing. You went to live with AP and ride out for John Gosling.
That's right. Who was in Manton.
Yeah.
Just to get a wage. And AP let me live there with him. He was in Baden at the time. And like Brian Hughes will say that he used to do my head in because he'd be asking me this and asking me that when we were at Howard's. Well, I did the same to AP. I battered him about asking him this and asking him that, and he told me what he used to do. And that was the turning point of my career. I think when the foot and mouth finished and we went back to work, it was the first season, the first time I rode over 50 winners. And it was because of I seen how AP, how he ran his life, and the team of people he had around him. And when you have good people around you, good things happen. But I queried him about going down to obstacles, and I did his head in, but that was the making or the turning of my career. And then I gradually got a bit better. I got more confident because I just kept watching him. I count myself very lucky to ride in the era that I rode in. The level of The riders were
Yeah.
incredible. Like there was AP, Dicky. Do you know, in Ireland was Ruby, Barry Geraghty,
Paul Carberry.
Paul Carberry, Davy Russell. Then here, as I say, AP, Dicky. There was Norman Williamson.
Yeah, Tony Dobbin.
Dobbs.
And then if you think if one of you got injured, the top boys, your jockeys, your next one down from Dobbin, your Brian Harding, your Richie McGrath, they all could do a job very,
Yeah.
very, very effectively.
Yeah, brilliant
The depth.
horseman. Brilliant horseman. So yeah, the year I rode him was class. Like Norman, Adrian Maguire, Dunwoody, and
Me.
yeah, class.
Yeah.
The era was something else, and I looked up to. They were all these guys were my heroes, and I had to pinch myself going out to ride against these lads. They were all heroes to me, all these lads. So yeah, it was a vintage era.
Graeme's respect for his contemporaries didn't impede his drive to reach the very top of the sport, which he did back in 2005.
Now this long run to the final flight. One senses West Ender is coming to the end of his tether. They bunch up. Ingles Drever is improving as well. Rule Supreme on the stand side. Barracuda coming between Ingles Drever and Rule Supreme as West Ender now looks a sitting duck as they arrive at the final flight. And Ingles Drever takes over and a great jump there. Barracuda challenging in second place. McCoy goes for his whip. It's Ingles Drever and Graeme Lee. Barracuda's got to pick up and he's going to struggle. In third is Rule Supreme and it's Ingles Drever, the young horse, who's pulling clear his first try at 3 miles and he's staying it out really well. And Ingles Drever lowers Barracuda's colours. Ingles Drever wins the Ladbrokes World Hurdle from Barracuda.
Cheltenham was very, very special.
Yeah.
Been lucky enough to been the leading rider at the 05 festival. That was huge for me.
No Refuge or Cayley's and Ingles Drever, what a
Yeah.
horse he was.
Yeah, it was something else. Wasn't
Yeah.
He was. If you were going to war, you'd want him with you.
Yeah.
He was so tough.
And the world's most famous horse race is the Grand National, Amberleigh House.
Yeah.
For McCain's.
But now the starter is calling them in. He's going over to Mount the Rostrum. They come up to the tapes now.
I got beat on him, Amberleigh, in the Beecher Chase. I think in the November before, Clan Royal beat me. And I couldn't understand how I got beaten on him. And I went back and I watched it till I was blue in the face. And getting beat on him in the Beecher is what won the National, I think. Because in the Beecher, I realised he was a short runner, and obviously the way the Grand National worked out, you just have to accept the hand you're dealt. And but like landing over 3 out, I remember thinking I could do it being close, but if I go from now, we're not going to finish. So I just had in the back of my mind to just save that run. And as I said, the Beecher Chase is what won the National for him.
Well, 3 major chances in the 157th running of this Martel Cognac Grand National. Hedge Hunter for Ireland on the near side, grabbed now by Clan Royal in the colours of J.P. McManus, who takes it up now. Then in third is Lord Allery, running a great race for Mark Bradburn, and they've kicked away a long way in front of Amberleigh House, is continuing on, and Monty's Pass is a distant fifth. They've got 2 fences left to jump in the Martel Cognac Grand National. On the far side, under the whip is Clan Royal, Lord Allery, Mark Bradburn is riding confidently in the centre. Hedge Hunters on the left as they jump the second last. They all jump it well, clear of Amberleigh House. A long gap then to Monty's Pass. They've got 1 fence to jump in the Grand National. Clan Royal going up and down in the 1 spot. In the centre is Lord Allery. Near side is Hedge Hunter. They've wanted to jump like Clan Royal. Got over that one. Hedge Hunter's a faller at the last. Clan Royal in front by 2 or 3 lengths. Trying hard is now Lord Allery on the near side as they race up now onto the run-in. They head towards the elbow. race for fourth. Monty's Pass.
When the year before he was third, Monty's Pass won. The horse that was second was trained by Pat Murphy.
Oh, Leighton Aspel rode it.
Leighton Aspel, yeah.
Well,
And I
sorry.
finished third, and I was buzzing. And then that night, I had just gone through the race in my head, and I woke up on the Sunday morning and I was devastated because I thought that was the chance gone, because I had the most perfect, clear passage. I got into the middle of a diamond-like formation, and with how the race went, it was the most perfect passage you could get, and he jumped every French brilliantly, and he finished third, and I was devastated on the Sunday.
Supreme Glory.
Super great shout,
Took me a
great
while.
shout. And then the following year, I remember I rode the French Furs, I think it was the Martel Hurdle, which was the same day. I think it might have been the race before, and the rain had got into the ground. I remember pulling up on the French Furs. I forget where he finished going. It's too soft for Amberleigh now. Although when you stood into him to get legged up, he was only 15.2. He was tiny. He didn't ride small because he was so long. But he was the type of horse that, you know yourself, there was some horse you'd show him the first and they'd cower, they'd shrink. He used to grow a hand. He loved the place. He loved the fences. About a week before Aintree, I was at Bangor, and I was to school Amberleigh after racing. I got a fall at Bangor, got signed off. So Dobbs, Tony Dobbin, schooled him, and I went down to the last. Well, Niall, you want to see where he left the ground, and you want to see where he landed out the far side of the fence. I went, oh my Lord, so he's in some shape, this fella. I remember phoning my mum. I says, Mum, I'm going to win the National on Saturday. She says, yeah. I says, I'm telling you. And anyway,
Did she back him?
I don't know. She listened to me, probably not. It was a shocking judge.
Tough for your mum and dad and everyone, but like they must be extremely proud of what you did achieve.
I hope so. I hope so.
Think so?
I think so. But it's mad though, because thinking back now, you know, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours after, thinking, got to go to Hexham tomorrow. What have I got tomorrow? What weights have they got? How do they want to be ridden? Instead of living in the
Moment.
moment, bang, I was thinking Hexham tomorrow. It's mad. And since my accident, I do an awful lot of, because sleeping at night's very, very hit and miss. It's more miss than hit, so I do an awful lot of reflecting. And there's things looking back now I would have done differently. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it, but I shouldn't have even thought about Hexham until the Sunday morning. I should have lived in the moment and embraced the day. But as I said, 3 hours after, I was thinking, right, the next day, which is mad, really. Mental.
The thing with Graeme is that he is very, well, for the Graeme that I know, is very unassuming and quiet, with a wicked dry sense of humour, but very little self-belief, and that's what frustrates me the most.
Yeah.
I would say, is he can't see what we can all see.
I was kind of like that through my whole life.
Yeah, I think so.
Lack of self-belief.
Yeah.
Well, even when we've talked about your big wins that you had racing, you've still always said, I just got a good horse. I just got lucky, just got a good horse.
Well,
You know?
Because I don't think Graeme was born with lots of talent. I think, is that fair?
Very.
I think he had to work to be
Yeah.
one of the best in a
Right.
vintage era.
Yeah.
And I said that before his fall and after his fall. I think he had to work to be, and he was so dedicated, ridiculously
Yeah.
dedicated.
Yeah.
That's why we get on, because I was like the polar opposite.
Okay.
The polar opposite.
What, born with loads of talent, didn't do any work?
No. No ability, but no dedication.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, riding ability, I was fairly
But then you got there.
low. Just kept trying.
Yeah. But I wonder if that's partly what's made this so difficult for you as well, is that before your injury, because you drove yourself so hard,
Yeah,
every day was right, I'm getting up and going for a run, ice bath, this, that,
Yeah.
because you had that constant drive, maybe that constant worry that you weren't going to be good enough at
Yeah.
the next race. But I think that must be something that's very, very difficult then to get your head around, if you've always been very driven, particularly when your job requires a lot of physicality, to then have a spinal cord injury, a high-level spinal cord injury, that then means you have all of that sort of taken away, really.
yeah,
And because, from what I know of you anyway, you're not a screamy, shouty, ranty kind of person. You don't necessarily have that outlet to, when you are feeling like you want to
Yeah.
scream and shout and rant, there kind of isn't the physical outlet, and
yeah.
you're not a screamer.
So you need to come and see Tilly.
You come and see me and just swear at me for a bit.
Yeah.
Put on a bit of Jerry Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't beat a bit of Jerry. But yeah, like you were saying, it's so difficult for me to get my head around what has happened, because I never sat still. But the only good thing of my injury is I've met some incredible people that I would never have met before. And you being one, and Hambo and everyone here, I would never have met these people. Would never have met you. So it's the only good thing to come out of this injury was the people that I've met that I would never have met. But we'll keep going. Keep hoping something
That's it.
will happen somewhere, because if you don't have hope, you've got nothing.
Matt's the one that can
Yeah.
get you through it quicker than
Yeah.
anyone in the world.
Yeah. He's Hambo he's an incredible human being, and I've seen people before that said, "Oh, you need counselling, you need this, you need that," and I've tried it, but the best counselling I've ever had was Matt, because he's
Is that because he's been there and done that?
Yeah.
Because he's on a ventilator all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
but his
But his outlook in life, he's so
Yeah. He's an incredible guy.
He certainly grabbed life when,
Yeah.
in a way
Yeah.
that a lot of people in his situation
Yeah.
would just go,
Yeah,
well, what can I do? What am I doing?
yeah,
And I think that was the whole point of him setting up the foundation and the centre, really, was so that people who've been in similar situations could meet. Because, whilst like the rehab staff, we can sit and we can talk and we can do things, we haven't been there, we haven't been through it. It is a real community feel, and that was what he wanted to create,
Yeah.
so people could see that there is hope again,
Yeah.
and there is life beyond injury.
And get busy living.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's easy all the time, but it can still be good, can still be great.
and Hambo will check in on me once a week.
Yeah.
When he's back, once a week he'll check in on me,
Yeah.
because he knows I'm probably a bit.
Yeah. Well, because actually, he's very fond of you. You think that he helps you, but he has said how much you help him as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I doubt that, Tilly.
What did I say to you when I first met you? What did I say? I don't do bull. I don't
No,
do. Were you
that's
going to say
right,
you don't
yeah,
remember? You don't remember
that's right.
anything I've ever told you.
Yeah, no, you did. You said I don't do.
Don't do bull. Don't do lying. There's no point. So he has said that. Yeah. Because you are important. You're important to him. You're important to a lot of people. All right?
Thank you,
Douchebag.
douchebag.
As they run round the final bend, and Hot World has 2 lengths on Zabenz, who's hanging. Brevet round the inside, under McCoy, and then My World 2 out. Hot World, Brevet draws closer. Zabenz on the near side. McCoy goes for his whip, and it's Zabenz that goes after the leader. Hot World from Zabenz as they race towards the final fence in the Betfred Gold Cup. Hot World, a good jump against Zabenz, is right down there and loses all chance. Hot World is left clear. 4 lengths to Brevet as they race up the hill. It's Hot World seeing it out from Brevet, 50 yards to go, and the Scottish national winner wins the Betfred Gold Cup. Hot World it is, again.
You rode a lot for Ferdy Murphy, but obviously I worked with you at the time, and Lanartique, he ended up living with you for a bit when his retirement. He won the Paddy Power, won the Juicing as it was called back in them days.
Yeah.
Divers, Aces 4, Calari, King, Hotwell won a Scottish national under. You didn't ride him, PJ McDonald did, and then 7 days later he won the Bet 365. It was good days.
I think when I was at Ferdy's with you, Tom Draper, PJ McDonald, that's the happiest I was in my whole career.
Why?
Because he was brilliant to ride for, and he always had your back. And like if I come in and said, Jesus, I wasn't very good on that, he'd say, don't worry about it. He'd put it right the next day. And he was brilliant to ride for. And that's the happiest I was. Because as I say, he always had your back. And like you name the horses, like Aces 4, Kalahari, Lanartique, Divers, Hot Weld. Like what a training performance that was. I remember being in there one summer, and this horse was trotting across a paddock, and he just looked like a common old steed, an old point he looked like. He said, you see him? He saw win the Scottish National with him. And I went, oh yeah, nice one, fair dues. And he started that season, I think he pulled up and he might have finished 5th somewhere, and I thought, I can't ride him in the Scottish National. So I rode
Nina Savola.
Nina Savola.
Yeah, who was second in an Irish National, a Scottish National, and either chase and never won a race over him.
Crazy, innit?
One left to go in the Scottish National. Hotwell rallied back for more. Parsons Legacy descent to the Nina Savola. Hotwell led at the last from Parsons Legacy. Nina Savola digging in brave to the far side. Hotwell, stable companion Nina Savola coming at him hard. But Hotwell is finding Quincy, and he's game a 1-2 in the Scottish National for Ferdy Murphy.
And I rode him, and Hotwell beat me. And I went, the man's a genius. He told me in the summertime what he was going to do with him. And then to turn him round 7 days later and win the Bet 365 was an unbelievable training performance. And, you know, again, although PJ had won the Scottish National on him, the boss put me straight back on him for that race at Sandown, and he was brilliant boss. And the type of man he was, there was it Poker de Savola?
Yeah.
And I rode him in the Scottish National. And I was halfway down the back. Well, I know it's a long way from home, but he was half pacing. And I got brought down. And he says to me, he's going to run at Sandown, but Timmy Murphy will have to ride him because he was David Johnson's retained rider, and he won. And Ferdy put his percentage of the prize money into my account because he felt bad that I should have ridden him. He was a brilliant boss. So yeah, they were great days.
They're racing round the home turn now, and overturn, and Graeme Lee make the run now towards the final flight. Out in front of Gerard, he's over and clear, on the run up towards the finish. Overturned Graeme Lee from Gerard. Bahrain Storm putting in a brave bit on the outside, but it's overturned all the way as they race up towards the finish. Overturn is going to win it in great style for the McCain family, and Graeme Lee wins the Galway Guinness Hurdle.
Another very special day for the McCains was Overturn, Galway Hurdle, because obviously you're born beside the track. You walked. Did you walk to the track?
Yeah, I stayed with Mam. Stayed at Mam's house and I walked up. It's about a mile and a half maybe. I walked up, and that was a very, very special day because it's where I grew up, and I used to walk around that place before I even sat in the pony. Yeah. It's mad, but I always knew what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
even before I sat on the pony, it's mad. So winning the Galway hurdle was very, very special. And again, overturned one, and I was doing an interview with Robert Hall, and over Robert's shoulder was AP, tapping his watch. We've got a plane to catch.
Yeah.
I think whatever, he might have won it, I'm guessing 5 o'clock. We were on a plane at 6:30, back to Birmingham. And I went to Bangor the next day to ride one that Jason Maguire, I broke his femur off. Why did I do that? I should have stayed in Galway and embraced the day with my family. But anyway, that's just the way it is.
Moving on down towards the last furlong and a half in the Nunthorpe, and Battard strikes the front now. Moves on, old rival Blue Point out after him. Here's Mabs Cross in the noseband. 200 yards left to cover. Battard has got a fight on, headed by Mabs Cross. Alpha Delphini in the centre, running a huge race. Heads up, heads down, far side Alpha Delphini, near side Mabs Cross. Mabs Cross and Alpha Delphini have gone past together in the Nunthorpe.
Here is the result of the photo finish for first place. First, number 1, Alpha Delphini.
And then you turn your attention to the flat. I remember you ringing me saying, can we meet for a coffee?
Yeah.
We brought filmmaking with us. You had an idea of going to ride in a flat, and I was like, this is the best idea ever. Which to this day, me and AP's talked about it, because he was saying, keep riding as long as you can.
Yeah.
He couldn't get under 9 stone 6 or something at the time, and filmmaking was eating his second croissant, and he was about 9 stone 9.
Yeah.
He was jealous of how light you were.
He was a brilliant rider, wasn't he?
Very
Phil.
natural.
Yeah, and just couldn't have given our monkeys. What an attitude. His attitude was class.
He wouldn't have left Galway after overturn one.
That's
Might
for
still
sure.
be there.
That's for sure. I often wished I had his attitude. But it's like, say, me and Phil would set off from A and we'd both get to B, but in very different ways. But yeah, anyway, yeah, we had the coffee in the coffee shop that morning, and he said, yeah. He said, there's days you just go down in a straight line, you come back in a straight line. He said, it's easy. And like you said, it's mad. There's no rules. You think the falls I took, which every jump jockey gets, and a lot of bad injuries, and you always, like Bowen's heel, had some bad head injuries, they all healed, and you get a fall in the flat, like not even in a race, in the stalls. So I've hit the deck from what, 5 foot maybe, and this doesn't heal, and that's what's a complete mind warp.
The winners came quick, with nearly 1,000 on the flat as well. Trip to Paris came second season, third season.
Was it?
Royal Ascot.
He was a dude, actually. He won at Ripon. I forget off what mark, but my lord, he was some certainty. As it happened. He won a Chester Cup. And then the Gold Cup.
Supplemented and won it.
Yeah, I was lucky.
Alpha Delphini. Obviously York is one of your local tracks.
Yeah.
For me, it's the best track in the country.
I agree.
And a finish with Tom Eves.
Yeah.
I was doing TV, remembered vaguely. I really like Tom, close friends with you.
Yeah, great fella.
I think in dead heat would be a nice result.
Yeah, and when you seen the megapixel, why didn't they just give it a dead heat?
Yeah.
Obviously, look, I was chuffed, but of course I was chuffed. But I was gutted for Tom, because he's the nicest lad in the world.
I remember interviewing you back in, talking about your career. That's your second Group 1 in the flat after obviously trip to Paris at Royal Ascot a few years ago. But you're not going to say it, but what a career you've had, from winning Grand Nationals in Amberleigh House, 1,000 winners over jump, leading rider at the Cheltenham Festival, to winning a Group 1 over a flying 5 furlongs here. It's unreal.
Jeez, it's a bit mad, isn't it? But sure, I'm riding the roller coaster and I'm enjoying the ride, and when it stops I'll get off and say thanks a million, so happy days.
It's a career that very few people have done, like what you've done.
Well, I don't know about that, but sure, we'll just
Can you name another?
we'll just keep doing our best and see what happens.
You're doing a very good job. Very well done.
Niall, thanks a million. Sound. Thank you.
I never felt you really enjoyed the flat as much.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, when I was jumping, I was like living the dream. It was living the dream. Then when I went flat racing, you see, it's different. It was difficult because all these lads they've been doing it their whole career, and then I've just gone in and kind of on my own. Do you know what I mean? The flat lads were very, very welcoming. They were very, very, in the north they were class, great lads. But as I say, I've gone in and I've just ended up kind of on my own. But that's just the way it was. And
I think it was 2 meetings a week. I think everybody felt that way because at that time there was 2 meetings a week. You know, everybody was going everywhere.
Yeah.
It wasn't like everybody's going to Hexham tomorrow and you're all sat there together. Where everybody's flying off the next meeting or losing weight. It was more of a flats of business, jumping's a sport.
Very well put, Niall. Yeah. And you think back, there was one day did 3 meetings.
You won the Jump Jockeys Nunthorpe on
Fendale,
Brian.
I was at Newcastle first, rode in the Northumberland Plate, then went to York, the Jump Jockeys Nunthorpe, then went to Doncaster that evening.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff, crazy stuff. But I was very fortunate to get a second go at a career that, I would have counted myself very lucky to do what I was doing until November the 10th.
If this didn't happen, do you think you would have rode much longer?
Do you know, Niall, I think deep down, hand on heart, I wasn't really enjoying it that much the last couple of years. But what was keeping me going was, it's easy money. You have to dig a lot of holes. You have to wash a lot of cars to get 4 or 5 fees in a day. It's a good day's work. So that there was that aspect, keep going as long as I could. And on the flip side as well, I had in my head to ride 1,000 flat winners. So I think, you correct me if I'm wrong, I think I'd have been the only person to ride over 1,000 jump winners and 1,000 flat winners. I think. Maybe it's been done before, I don't know, but that's what I had in my head. And I don't know what the final figure was. I think it was 1,900 and something, I don't know. So that's why I kept going. I wanted to get to 1,000 winners, but at the end of the day, it's just a figure, isn't it? But you know, so what? If I rode 1,000 winners in a flat, whoop-de-doo. I don't know. I don't mean to sound unthankful, but again, I have lots of time to reflect, and I was very fortunate in my career to ride big winners, but at the end of the day, it means it's only horses run around the field. Really, it's horses run around the field. And I won the national, and I was leading rider at Cheltenham, and I won a Galway hurdle, and I won an Ascot Gold Cup, and I won a Nunthorpe. But you know, I'd give up every winner I ever rode to get up and walk out of this chair and hug my wife, and hug Amy and hug Robbie. I'd give up every winner just to be able to give those 3 guys a hug. But as I said, that's not me being unthankful, because I was very lucky. But this accident or this injury, it hasn't half put things in perspective. And little things like, you know, a lovely day like this. I used to love the good weather, loved it. But now, if a fly lands on me and it's climbing all over my face, I can't get rid of it. I have to get Bex, shout Bex to get rid of it. Little things like that. I can't itch my ear. I can't itch my forehead. I can't give my wife a cuddle. When Robs plays a football match, I can't put my arm around and say, well done, kidda. Or Amy, watching Amy perform in her musical theatre stuff. I can't give her a hug and say, that was class. I can't. So little things like that. As I say, since my accident, it doesn't have put things in perspective. But anyway, I'm not moaning. It's made me realise that when I was riding, it was the A-all and B-all. Life was riding. Life was about performing. And I did it to the best of my ability, which ability-wise was very, very low. It was just hard work and pig-headedness and being thick that got me to where I kind of got. But again, there's more to life, isn't there? You know, but again, I'm not being unthankful for 1 second. And I'm not moaning, because I was very lucky. But it's anyway, it is what it is.
The extent of Graeme's injury is severe. He's paralysed from the shoulders down, and it has put a huge amount of pressure on his family. But they've shown incredible courage, and with the support of those in the sport, to adapt to the challenges of their current circumstances.
Our lives have changed hugely, but I feel more bad for Bex and for Amy and Robbie than me, because poor Bex's life has been, I've turned it upside down. Obviously I didn't mean to, but I'm lucky in the sense that she's an amazing lady and I have 2 amazing children, and I'm so lucky to have them. But yeah,
let's talk about them. They're very different. Amy is bubbly, outgoing, very happy.
Complete opposite to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say she's more after her damn side of the pedigree.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
She don't take after the sire, that's
but
for sure.
She's loving life, isn't she?
She's class. Yeah. She's living the dream. And Robster is.
It's amazing.
Polar opposites.
Yeah. Quiet, reserved.
Yeah.
Loves sport.
Yeah.
Football, horse racing.
Yeah.
He spent a lot of time coming racing with me the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Would go to back and beyond to watch horse racing.
Yeah.
And knows everything about it.
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah.
He loves it.
He recently done a bit for Sport and Life, work experience. He got on well there. I was reading he was doing the headline bits from some of the big festivals.
Yeah, he loves it. Could do with him treating his schoolwork as well as him treating racing. He'd be better, but no, he loves it.
He was a late developer too, because I think when you won the Nunthorpe, he was shopping in Teesside Park.
Really?
Yeah. I was speaking about it recently, about his first memory, and obviously showing my age, but you're thinking, you know, what age he is and where you were in your riding career. But I think it was football, playing football, and no interest in anything else, no interest in what you were doing.
He's since my accident, he hasn't half grown up and come out of his shell. Very, very proud of both Amy and Robbie. I'm so proud of how they've handled it, because it can't be easy for them. But like I say, so proud of both of them. And he's an half grown up and come out of his shell. Like I said to him every evening when he'd leave me in hospital, say, "You're a man of the house now, kidda. You've got a man up." And sure enough, he has.
And when you had your accident, Amy, or there still is down Swindon direction, Paul Morenon was with Becky. Paul got in touch with me. I rang Richie McGrath and AP. AP had picked Amy up and got her up to the hospital within hours.
Yeah. Yeah, within an hour he'd been, dropped everything, picked up Ames and drove, 5.5 hours to Newcastle.
I don't want to start naming names who do it, but like Joe Fanning, Paul Morenon, Andrew Mullen, Alan Dempsey, there's lots of regular visitors. You keep an eye on them, how they're doing? Yeah, I'll always keep an eye on Paul and Midge Mullen and Joe. Sergio, sorry. You always keep an eye on them. They're great lads. They're great lads. Brian Hughes is never far away. He's class. He's class. So, very, very lucky to have a great circle of friends that always check in on me, and there's been so many, too many to name, but they always check on me. And like I mentioned earlier on there about meeting that spinal cord consultant, and he floored me. I did say to him, I said, I don't know, is it the sports person in me? But every morning I wake up and think, today might be the day. Something might happen today. And he said, it won't. I said, what do you mean it won't? He said, trust me, it'll never happen. You have a spinal cord injury. He didn't say it, but it was kind of, build a bridge and get over it. Just accept it. Niall floored me. I couldn't even speak because although he could be right, I'm not willing to accept that. So the following week, myself and Bex went to Jackberry House in Malton. I met a lady called Tara Stewart. She is the chair for spinal research. Yeah. And Tara is, I think she's 10 years injured. And I was telling her about what this guy had said to me. Well, she went nuts. She went nuts. And what she was telling me, she didn't give me, she gave me loads of hope. I've got to try and keep in as good a shape as I can, by keeping stretched and supple as I can. You don't have hope, you got nothing. Well, you've got Jack Berry, you've got hope. How's Jack been from? He's some man. Some man for 10 men. Stop. Do you think he set up the Injured Jockeys Fund? I think it's 60 years ago. Was it his, one of his best friends, Paddy Farrell, I think broke his back in the Grand chair. National. Yes, the chair. And went round shaking a tin. Yeah, shaking buckets to try and get a few quid. And that was 60 years ago. And the IGF there, they've been amazing for me and my family. I dread to think where we'd be without them. And Jack, he calls in every week without fail. Got your lawnmowers front, side, back. Yeah. He's Richie McGrath cut it once. He was not happy the way he finished. He cut it once, he said, you'll never cut that again. And Jack sorted it out. And it's still like, Jack, the age, he just keeps ringing 9 o'clock at night, I've got an idea. You know, he's on to me the whole time, we need to do this. We need to, we're doing this, not we need to, we're doing this. Yeah. I was telling him about, there's been something in China where this person has done 4 surgeries with a 1 millimetre chip above the injury and a millimetre chip below the injury. It's 4-hour surgery. And this guy supposedly, one of his patients, one of these 4 people, was 2 years and had nothing. So it'd be very similar to me. I'm coming up now 21 months, I think, and I've got nothing. But this person, after surgery, could move his legs the next morning.
within 2 weeks, he was walking aided 5 metres. And I was telling Mr. Berry this, and he said, right, we're going to China. Do you know,
You've been like inundated, you know, since the accident. We had a night, the 9th of November, which happened to be the anniversary of 364 days on from the fall, which people were so generous getting behind.
Yeah.
And obviously I see your phone and the messages and people, but like John Hunt, what he's been through, he wants to link up with you and he wants you to help him and vice versa, and you know, a special person.
Oh, like John sent me the most amazing message, and I thought, Jesus Christ, what that poor man has been through. And he's texting me, and yeah, he's an amazing guy. I can't wait to catch up with him somewhere, sometime in the future. Can't wait to meet him.
But he's saying that we can help each other and get through it, and it's just it's things that got to keep us going. Yeah,
definitely. And although you won't want me to say it, but like the York do on the 9th, that you organised it all. And
I didn't. No,
you did. So that was a brilliant night.
It was good fun.
It was great crack.
Michael Shinner cycled the whole way there. He done well, him.
Oh, he's a great fella as well. But it was a really, really good night. And without meaning to sound, whatever the word is, corny, whatever, the love in the room. It was a class night.
Yeah, and it gives it. People have been generous and just we want to keep going.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I say, we keep going, keep trying to do the right things, and hopefully science somewhere, someday, sooner rather than later, hopefully something can happen.
We can only wish Graeme well, but he's a determined character. He needs all that determination right now, but he's got a good bank of friends. He's got an amazing family, and an amazing family who witnessed his stellar career, a CV like no one else.
Far side Alpha Delphini, near side Mavs Cross and Alpha Delphini have gone past together in the Nunthorpe.
Our Payless that passes on into the lead now, and it's the smart flat horse, our Payless, who's sprinting clear up the hill. The new on the far side goes to Scotland. On world it is. Wins the Betfred Gold Cup. Abbey is still galloping. Great jump in the last. The real bandit can't go with him.
10 times he's been to air. 6 times he's been victorious.
This is his day in the sunshine. Kalahari King. Graeme Lee bounces back with a winner on Kalahari King.
Overturn has got to win it in great style for Graeme Lee.
And Ingles Dreamer lowers Barracuda's colours. Ingles Dreamer wins the Ladbrokes World Hurdle. No refuge on the far side, and he's closing with every single drive. No refuge gets up to win.
Amberleigh House wins the national.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.